Shopping for tech in 2025 is hard. Whether you're looking for a laptop and having to navigate the overwhelming model names and specs, or trying to simply choose between the hundreds of different models of gaming headsets available. Luckily though, Staples Canada makes shopping for tech easy with their huge selection, easy to navigate website, and super helpful staff. They helped me find this incredible bang for my buck gaming laptop. The ASUS TUF 16 has a 4050 graphics card, terabyte SSD, 16 gigabytes of RAM, all for an incredible price. This has been an incredible buy both for gaming and working on the go. And to go with it, this Razer Blackshark V2 gaming headset, which I've been super impressed with the quality both in build and sound. And the best part is it's not just tech. Staples carries everything you need from office furniture to stationery, so you could crush your to-do list in just one trip. For years, Staples Canada has been committed to making shopping for tech easy, and they're doubling down by giving back. I'm teaming up with Staples Canada to give away 3 of these brand new Razer Blackshark V2 gaming headsets to 3 lucky winners. Just follow the directions in the description to enter. Thank you to Staples Canada for partnering with me on this video and giveaway, and make sure to keep your eyes peeled because there's plenty more exciting Staples stuff coming in the future. Here's all the ways I plan to improve my low-cost Sip and Puff mouse prototype, an accessibility device that lets people with motor issues in their hands navigate a computer by using a joystick with their mouth and sipping and puffing and blowing on the tube in order to click. My end goal is to make this traditionally very expensive accessibility device affordable and open source to those who need it most. I built this prototype in the last video. Here's how I'm making it better. The first major thing I'm gonna have to improve is the mouthpiece. I did 3D print the mouthpiece for the sake of accessibility. However, 3D printing is actually not great when it comes to having anything food safe or being near your mouth. Problem isn't the 3D printed plastics themselves. They're not toxic or anything. They're actually super safe. The issue is when you 3D print something, it has these little layer lines and the plastic's not entirely solid. It's kind of porous. It becomes absolutely impossible to clean, and once you get the moisture of your mouth on this, it'll grow bacteria and it will be literally impossible to clean out. Come up with what I think is a pretty good solution. I've done some digging around online and found a bunch of off-the-shelf mouthpieces. These are from breathalyzers, and these are actually from a little musical instrument. You can buy them both for really cheap, and they're meant to be used on your mouth, and they are replaceable. You can buy them in bulk for cheap. And the idea here is instead of the whole mouthpiece being 3D printed and fitting on the end of the joystick, there's just an adapter that's going to fit onto the end of the joystick. Again, it's going to all fit together here. The idea is this stays modular so we could have different setups for anybody who needs it. And then the mouthpiece just slides into the end of the adapter. You could still interact with it with your mouth. You could still suck and blow because it runs to the tube. But crucially, you could change that sanitary piece and the piece your mouth is actually on. That said, I am still going to leave 3D printed mouthpieces as an option just so people can design specific adapters for themselves that they do need. And for people that are really having cost-effective barriers that can't afford the separate mouthpieces, 3D printing is still an option. Just making sure we acknowledge the issues. There are things you could do like clear coat it and anneal it further, but by default 3D printing isn't the best solution. The other one that a lot of people brought up was the joystick. Joysticks tend to wear down really quickly because there's physical moving parts detecting the movement. Can you see there when I move the joystick? You could see that actual item there moving. Joysticks wear down super quickly unless you use something called a Hall effect joystick. So Hall effect is a type of sensor where instead of having 2 physical parts touching each other, it uses magnets, and the sensor detects the strength of the magnetic field. So it can tell how far something is away because of how strong the magnetic field is, crucially causing no wear on the device at all. And I've actually found some Hall effect joysticks that I'm going to be using for this project. You could actually see it in here where you could see the magnet turning through the joystick, and then you could see the Hall effect sensor here. Crucially, they don't touch each other, so this joystick won't wear down very quickly. These joysticks are also really affordable because they're built for PS5 replacements, so they're built en masse, and I'll be able to source them for cheap. And again, make sure the device is still super affordable while using high quality joysticks. Again, when I build the PCB to combine all the parts, these are just going to go right on there. I'm also going to have to add a saliva trap where if a user uses this long-term, saliva will eventually make it down this tube and bog up the sensor. So instead, I'm just going to have to add a little capsule type thing here. I'll probably just 3D print this out of resin where the saliva will go down, collect in this reservoir here, and then this tube here will go out to the sensor, and then you'll be able to empty this automatically without bogging up the sensor. We'll also need to replace the sensor because this one's quite expensive. It's used for RC airplanes. This one I found is used very commonly on medical devices like breathing apparatuses to detect breath. I think it's going to be a great candidate. It's really cheap, and I'm going to be able to make it modular, so if this does fail on people, they'll be able to replace it very affordably outside of having to replace the whole device.